Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another Exhumed movie review. Today we are going to be talking about The Picture of Dorian Gray. Really quick though, before I get into anything else, I want to say thank you to my creepy patron peeps for your support of my channel. Thank you so much. If you want to find out the perks to being a creepy patron peep, you can follow that link in the description. Directed by Albert Lewin, The Picture of Dorian Gray follows a young man who has his portrait painted. The painting somehow changes to reveal his inner nature while he remains youthful. This movie is obviously an adaptation of the novel of the same name by Oscar Wilde, who is even referred to directly in the movie when Dorian recites a bit of poetry to Sybil. When she asks who wrote it, Dorian responds, "A brilliant young Irishman out of Oxford. His name is Oscar Wilde." Wanting to check out this movie for some reason, like I just really wanted to watch it, so I'm happy I did. And the book has been on my to-read list forever now, which I still need to get around to, but so I really love the theme of eternal youth in this movie. Like in so many movies and books, like we see, you know, you see characters who are eternal for one reason or another. They're either usually lamenting that living forever is not all it's cracked up to be, or they use their extended shelf life, so to speak, to do whatever the they want, which is kind of what Dorian does. Not necessarily, I don't know if he actually is getting to live forever, or he just, you know, looks young until, you know, his natural death. The movie also says a lot about retaining youth and the influence of others. So at the beginning of the movie, Dorian is obviously young and impressionable, and he's introduced to Lord Henry, who is a super asshole and persuades Dorian to lead a more hedonistic lifestyle, because Lord Henry, throughout the movie, he's just spouting like his philosophy on life, love, all this stuff. And armed with everlasting beauty, Dorian pursues this hedonistic lifestyle, and as a result, Dorian turns ugly on the inside, which ends up being reflected by the painting. It's almost like he gets this idea in his head that, you know, and people tell him as well, Lord Henry, I think, is the one who tells him in the movie that his beauty will not last forever, so he better enjoy it while he still has it. And and you get the feeling that, or at least Dorian thinks that people lead their life differently if they know that, you know, their beauty has a shelf life. Thinking, you know, his beauty will be fleeting, he wants to fall in love and get married, but then as soon as he realizes he is gonna keep this beauty forever, he dumps Sybil, he does all this awful stuff because, you know, I don't know. I don't really get the logic in that, but it's a twisted sort of logic, so I guess, you know, that's kind of the point. Speaking of the painting though, I love how whenever Dorian looks at it, the film becomes awashed in color. So the whole film is in black and white, except for when Dorian is looking at the painting, whether it's right when it gets painted or when it's turned ugly and grotesque. I felt like when it first happens in the movie, when he sees the painting as it's finished, and it looks just like him, like the color of the movie was meant to represent the beauty of the portrait and reflecting, like, you know, how beautiful Dorian is. It also kind of represents like the power that it has over Dorian. Like he is literally like entranced by this painting pretty much. It even turns to color after it's revealed like how ugly it's turned. Every time we see it, it's in color. In that sense, I feel like the color kind of represents reality. Like the painting is reflecting the reality of who Dorian is. So I also love the beauty of the movie. I feel like it was taking, I could probably have this completely wrong, I feel like it was taking a little bit from German Expressionism, at least the parts where Dorian is in like the seedy part of town. I don't know, I just feel like the wide shots of when he goes to like this house that's in like kind of like the bad part of town or something, or I guess people go for like drugs and drinking and things like that, I don't know. Those scenes seemed a bit more like surreal and distorted, and obviously on a set, which are kind of traits of German Expressionism. It wasn't like full on Cabinet of Dr. Caligari or anything like that, but it looked noticeably different from when Dorian's like at his house or when he's in, you know, like proper society or something like that. I liked that. I felt like it was another representation of like how Dorian was on the inside, and it makes his appearance on the outside, like it mismatches. Like, you know, he is leading this hedonistic lifestyle, but he looks beautiful and he dresses nicely and he doesn't look like he belongs there, but on the inside he does. Speaking of Dorian, I really liked Hurd Hatfield, hopefully I said his name right, who plays Dorian. He really does have a nice face. Like he delivers his lines also like so just like measured and almost stiff too. Like he seems almost lifeless. But it's like, it kind of fits though, because he's like, his face is so like perfect or whatever that it's almost like he's not real. And it works. Like it works really well for the character. You can't really tell what's going on in his head. And I don't know if that's the point, but it works. Things I really didn't like about the movie, I feel like it was missing a bit of inner dialogue, which I can only assume we get in the book. There is some inner dialogue, but it seems like a third person narrator, not so much what's going on in Dorian's head. Not only that, but the movie does play a bit more like a drama than anything. I wonder if the book is more like horror. Then I actually don't even know if the book is classified as a horror movie or as a horror book. I feel like it is. I don't know, but maybe that's me. I find that with like kind of classic horror novels of the same type, like Frankenstein and Dracula, the novels aren't regarded as scary as the movie. Like the movies are just like full-on horror movies, but the books, I feel like a lot of people do find boring and not as terrifying. I found the horror to be more implied in the novels, where it's more straightforward horror in the adaptations. And I kind of felt like it was the opposite in the case of Dorian Gray. I haven't read the book. I feel like it might be the opposite. Like the book might be more horrific than the movie was, where in the movie it was kind of more implied. Or I don't know, I'm gonna have to read the book to find out though. So was the picture of Dorian Gray worth it? I feel satisfied because I really wanted to watch this, and I'm happy to check it off of my to watch list finally. But I don't know that everyone would enjoy it. So if anyone out there has read the book, please let me know if it's worth the read, because I really want to read that. So I'm gonna give this movie just a 3 out of 5. I thought it was okay. On IMDb it has a 7.6 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes it has a 92% critic score and a 76% audience score. And on Letterboxd it has a 3.6 out of 5. I was able to watch The Picture of Dorian Gray on Amazon, so I'll leave an affiliate link in the description if you want to check it out that way. There's no pressure to use that link, but if you do, it does help out the channel. If you have already seen The Picture of Dorian Gray, please let me know what you thought about it in the comment section. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here and become a creepy peep today. I post videos Monday through Friday, and you can ring that notification bell to be notified every time I post a video or go live, even though it doesn't always work. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye!